What's going on, guys? Dopeswunner here, and yes, I know I look like a 14-year-old again. I actually shaved for the first time in like 2.5 years, and dear God, do I look young. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this video. Basically, what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the Ramps 1.4, or Ramps board in general. I am specifically using the Ramps 1.4, which is, I believe, going to be pretty much standard across the board. If you're picking up a Ramps board, what you're going to be getting as of this time frame, which is February 13th, 2016. So if you're 2015, 2016, this is the board you'll be messing with. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form a professional. I don't have any experience or what's the word, schooling, or I guess if that's what you want to call it, with electronics. I am strictly like self-taught from my interest in small electronics and console modding and game modding and the whole makerspace type thing. So again, if any of my wording is wrong or things are not correct, I apologize ahead of time. I simply am giving information from what I have learned and what I've experienced that I think will be useful to you guys. So I have spent a stupid amount of time over the past 2, 3, 4 weeks trying to convert my DaVinci 1.0 printer from its stock or default circuit board to a Ramps Arduino Mega combo, and I have had enough headaches, enough trial and error to definitely give you guys some pointers on things to avoid if this is something, if you're going to be building like a rep and this is the hardware you're going to be using. So first and foremost, I'm going to say this, that it is not easy. I don't care. I mean, if you've done plenty before and you think it's easy, or you're an advanced worker of things electronics, then you know this is not for you. But for those of you that don't have experience with 3D printing, or are thinking this will be like an easy little project, it really is not, and I want you to know that beforehand. Don't let anyone lie to you. There is a ton of awesome help out there, though, so it is definitely not impossible. You've got all sorts of great forums, and you've got all sorts of informational videos. Just please make sure you are doing your homework beforehand. If you are thinking you can save a couple $100 by building your own, you are accurate, but again, you've got to basically decipher whether the headache and speed bumps are worth it. So anyways, things that I have done or read or can see possibly happening and going wrong with the Ramps 1.4 board, first and foremost is going to be with the stepper cables. That's not true at all. The end stops, I'm sorry. The end stops for the 3D printer, which basically are when the extruder or the platform has hit its maximum point or minimum point. It hits something, which there's mechanical and there's, I can't think of the other word right now, the ones that aren't mechanical, but I'm using mechanical switches. So basically it gets to the end of its axis, taps the switch, which then lets the software know that, hey, you've reached the end of your line. That way you don't damage any of your hardware. When it comes to installing those, make sure that you install them in the correct direction. And if you're looking at the Ramps board, the spots for the end stops are going to be right here. The upmost point is going to be where the signal wire goes. So the signal wire is basically what tells the software when it has hit. So you want to make sure you don't flip it around and put the ground or the positive wire on the top, because if you do, you can certainly fry your steppers, if not your whole board. So don't do that. I can easily see that being done. Next, when you get to your Ramps 1.4, there's going to be a bunch of these little, oh, of course I have none right here now. These little black jumper guys. You should get these, and they will come in a bag. Basically, they are not there for no reason. If you are using jumpers, if you're using drivers to power your stepper motors, which you will need to do for a 3D printer or CNC machine, there is going to be 6 pegs underneath where the underneath where each driver goes. And basically, you need to put these and pair up each of the 6 pegs. So let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Basically, there's 6, this is difficult. There's 6 pegs right here, and I'll go ahead and put one on and show you what I mean. So I won't even put it the whole way on, so that way hopefully you can see it. Basically, I installed one right there. I can't really tell whether it's showing up because my webcam is so small, but I connected one of the pairs, and you're going to have to connect the other 2 sets of 2. it's 2 sets of 2 pins below it. That sounds so fucking complicated. So hopefully you get what I'm saying. But these jumpers need to connect all of the 6 pins underneath each of the drivers for the stepper motors. That I did not know. I definitely did a lot of research before getting into this project, but obviously not enough. I looked at anything from beginner 3D printing up to browsing forums and looking at advanced topics, and to me it still was not easily understandable per se, or extremely detailed and clear for someone that hasn't per se worked with these particular boards and doesn't necessarily have the knowledge to understand what each component does on the board. So make sure you use those jumpers. They are very much necessary and not optional if you are, again, building a 3D printer and using stepper motors. Next, a tip, I guess, if you will. If you have plugged in, let's say, your stepper motors, and you are noticing that when you are clicking a certain direction, the motor is taking the extruder the opposite direction, chances are you just need to flip around your wires for that particular stepper motor. If you don't want to actually flip your wires around, you can also edit the direction in your firmware, which again, I'm using Marlin firmware, so I don't really know with the other firmwares how exactly it works, but with the firmware Marlin, under your configure H file, there is basically a section that will say direction Y, direction X, direction Z, and you can change it from like true to false, which will basically just flip-flop the direction, so it will correct the direction that the extruder is traveling, or the Z or the bed is traveling. So yeah, that's another thing. Another thing is make sure you double and triple check all of your schematics and your diagrams of the ramps board. Particularly with something stupid that I did, very dumb, was for D8, D9, and D10. This is basically where you hook up the extruder, the fan, and the bed. I saw a diagram that told me that the extruder goes where D8 is, so I thought my board was defective. I hooked up the extruder and hit power, and it did not power on. And I tried 3 different boards, and none of it worked. And I happened to be watching a video of some guy one night messing with his ramps board, just a build, and saw that he had stuck his extruder in the D10 port. Then I looked online, and D10 is the port for the extruder. So I plugged in my extruder to the D10 port, and it worked fine across the board with all of my different boards. So that is a really silly mistake that I definitely should have caught and should have avoided, but I did not. What else? I'm trying to think if there's really anything else off the top of my head. There might be more things I need to add. Maybe I'll do a follow-up to this video, and maybe make it a little bit more organized. I know this video is kind of me just throwing things at you, ranting fast, but there was a lot of information I wanted to get out there, and I've been working on this printer for the last 3 hours, so it's now 12:30 in the morning, and I figured I would at least shoot some of this stuff your guys' direction. So hopefully any of this will help. And again, let me know if you guys want, let me know in the comments down below. But if you guys want all the things I'm talking about, I can make another video called like In Depth, where I literally take everything I'm talking about and get like screenshots to show you guys more in detail on what I'm talking about. Because again, I know that with this webcam, the audio is fine, you kind of can see, but the details obviously are not going to be there on the Ramps 1.4 board. So yeah, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, next video I believe will be an update on my 3D printer, because I have made some super serious progress on it, and very excited about that. So I am going to be definitely sharing that with you guys soon. So hope you all are doing well. As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps out my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Dope Swanner, and I'm out. Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like button on the bottom of this video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe for new great videos every single week, including monthly giveaways. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys next time.